and welcome to the fifth and final course on usability and instructional design. This is the fifth course out of a five-part series. This course is entitled Designing Technological Devices to Adapt to the User, and will cover the topic of responsive design. Let's take a quick look at what has been discussed in previous courses up to this point so that we can quickly review what we have learned about the application of usability principles in designing instructional material. Once we get oriented with that, we'll then jump into the final course topic of responsive design. We discussed 5 of the foundational principles of usability design, being consistency, perceivability, learnability, predictability, and feedback. We also learned about ways to design instructional material for mobile learning, including considering the contextual elements of how your users will consume the material through different electronic devices. Now we will take a look at responsive design. Designing a technological device to adapt to the user is what is referred to as responsive design. Responsive or adaptive design is not a new concept, although it does seem to have received a greater focus as of late in the field of usability design. Recall that in Lesson 4, we discussed the importance of focusing on the context of how our user will interact with technology to access your instructional material. The device that the learner is actually using is obviously a large part of that context. So what are some ways that devices can be designed to adapt or respond to a user? Designing a user interface or instructional material to automatically size the device that the learner is using is the most common way to do this. For example, you can write HTML code to size your website to adapt to the size of a computer screen or mobile device after detecting what device the user is logging in with. With the many different digital devices that users may try to use to access your material in today's digital age, you want to make sure that the learners can log in with any device convenient to them and have an optimal interactive experience. Good responsive design also means that your menu structure may need to change based on what devices learners use to access your material. A mobile device will not have the same real estate for your navigation menu that a computer monitor can provide, for example. Therefore, you may need to design an entirely different mobile version of your content. This is common practice, and allowing a user to be able to log in with a mobile device and having your content automatically detect this and adapt provides for a very positive user experience. All aspects of your content can be responsive to the user, including text, images, graphics, graphs, menus, etc. Keep in mind as well that some users who try to access your content may have one of many different disabilities. Designing your content to be accessible by users who may have a disability is also something to consider with your responsive design. This concludes this series in usability and instructional design. I hope that you have learned some things that will help you to better design your instructional material to create a great user experience.